This video is going to take you through setting up the styles on your website using the style settings built into the plugin. So all of these colors are editable. I'll show you now how they're controlled. You might want to duplicate some colors like we have here with this button and price, but they're completely fully customizable. So the first thing you need to do is head over to your dashboard and go to the plugin setting. Then you've got this option here called styles, and once you click on the styles you can see the options available. You've got general colors, text colors, background colors, border colors, button styles, so with the text color, the background, and then with the hover color, so when you hover the color changes from blue to this tan color, and then miscellaneous buttons such as the property search form and the home banner search form. And we'll also be discussing below this we have typography, so you can change the font sizes. In most cases you might just wish to leave this as default because the plugin inherits whichever font your theme is using, but if you did want to change it, then you've got the options to do that as well. So we're going to go through and change some of these colors. Before we do, let me just discuss this feature here, which is enable dark mode. Our website is using a pale background, and so this is considered a light mode, light theme, and so we have the dark mode disabled. If however you were using a very dark color for the background and wanting to use a dark color for the background of these boxes, then by enabling the dark mode, it by default will change things like these icons here to white, so that they'll show up then on a dark background. So we're going to leave that. We're going to stick with light mode. You can see that when you do toggle it there, you can see that these default colors that are in the system do change. So the first one is general colors, which is primary color and secondary color. And so I'm going to change this. I'm going to use completely contrasting colors so it's easy to see. And for our primary color, I'm going to click here and paste color code. In this case it's an emerald green. And for our secondary color, we're going to use a warm coral color. So you can, in this space here, you can either paste the RGB or you can paste the hex code, which is what I'm doing, and it converts it to an RGB, or you can just use the color picker here. And so I'm going to go down and save those for now, and we'll just have a look how those changes reflect on the front end. So if I refresh, you can see now that this is my secondary color, this was the primary color, and also the price has changed to adopt the primary color as well. Up here these are controlled separately, so there's no change, but you can see that those primary and secondary colors have been adopted. And if we click on a property, you'll see where those are reflected as well. So the for sale is using the secondary color, and scroll down, you can see that the amenity icons are also adopting that primary color. So if we go back to the settings, so the text color, we're not going to make a lot of changes here. If you're using a light background, typically you'd want to use a black or a grey color for your text, but you're free to use whichever color you want. So we're going to go with a charcoal. For the title text, we'll go with a deep charcoal. And link color, we'll use the emerald green that we used with the primary color. And for the hover, we'll go with the secondary color. Now if I'll save those and we can just check the front end. So the text colours are, this one you might notice changing. I think it went a little darker, but the text colours will be rather negligible. So you can see how that went a bit darker with the charcoal colour. And that's mainly what we changed there, was to do with the text. I'll go back to the search also, and we'll keep it on this page for now. So the next styles are then background colours. So the background colours, well, you'll see now, but there's the background of the blocks here, for example. You might want to keep that a light colour. You might want to have a darker colour. If you want a darker colour, then don't forget you need to change to dark mode. But we'll just stick with a snow white for the blocks background, and for the form background we're going to switch to a pale sage to complement our primary colour. And for border colour, we'll go with a light slate. Okay. So I update those. So if we go to the form, again, this is the search form. If we go to the contact form, you can see this colour's been changed. We're using light colours, so you might not notice it, but that's what we were changing there. Okay, let's look now at the button styles. So for the button styles, we'll use the primary colour again for the background. I'm going to keep the text colour the same, and we'll go with the secondary colour, the warm coral, for the hover effect. Sorry, so I'll change that first. Border colour, I'm just going to set as the same. I don't want any border showing up. And we'll do the same with the border when you hover. But if you do want a line around the button, then just add a darker colour, and that will show up. And again, I'll check those changes in the front end. So let's go back a page. So you can see these now. We've got additional features, search properties, opposite colours, and when hovering, the colour goes from primary to secondary and from secondary to primary. I've now updated this button colour as well, so this is now changed to fit in with the colour scheme that we're using. So that's the main colours. There are some other options down here, such as the home banner search form. So we'll change this to our primary colour, the emerald green. And the secondary colour, the warm coral. Update those changes, and then we'll check the home page, and you can see that we've got now the updated button colours for the search form. Now this search form, it's got a separate style section, because in most cases you're overlaying this search on an image or on a video. You don't have to. In which case, if you wanted to place it below, then you can change these settings accordingly. But in this case, we've got it over an image, so we've added transparency to the background. So to do that, you click the background color, and then this here in control. So if you put it as not transparent, and update that, then you can see it will show completely black. Or we've got the option of going in between, which is what it was previously. You can also take it all the way to 100% transparency, and when you do that, it effectively deletes the background. So you've got either a choice, solid background, slightly transparent, or to remove it altogether. I like to have a slight transparency. It's just personal preference. So I'm going to add that back. It was a little bit light a moment ago, so I'm going to go a little bit higher with the darkness, less transparency, and refresh, and you can see that's now there. So you can still see the image behind, it's not blocking, but it distinctly highlights that search box. So going on to font sizes, font styles, as I say, it inherits the themes font. If you did want to change it, you just have to click the Google font there and select from one of the many Google fonts that are in the system. If it's not a Google font, you can select custom font and then upload your font using one of these formats here, which are standard font formats. We're going to leave it as default. Font size, again, in most cases you might not need to change this, but for example, if the rest of your website uses a 0.14 paragraph font, then you can simply just change that here, and then small font size, medium font size, large font size if you're using different font sizes, and then again for the titles. So I've just adjusted the paragraph font, and if we go to search properties and go to here, you can see this text now is smaller than it was. I'll put it back so that you can see a comparison. We'll go back up to 18, and you can now see that it's increased in size. So that's how you edit the colours, the fonts, the font sizes. The last thing that last three things perhaps, is the property listing layout. So currently you can see we've got 2 columns, and this is a grid, and that's what's showing here. It's grid 2 columns, but we've got the option to set it as a list view if that's what you prefer. The list view is just 1 column, so each property is displayed as a single column, a single row. Or you can switch to grid view and increase the number of properties shown. So we had it set to 2, we could go to 3, and with 3 properties, you get 3 columns. Obviously everything gets a little bit smaller. As you edge towards 4, it gets smaller again. So really, personal preference. 3 is the limit for me, but if you are wanting to display a greater number of properties at any one time, then that's what you can go to. 5 again gets even smaller, but I'll show you 5. So 5 columns. And that's what 5 grid column looks like. So the last thing, bear with me, I'll switch that back to 2 columns. So you got the option to hide the breadcrumb if you want. So right now, if we go onto this page here, we go to a property. Bear with me. Let's click off to enable the breadcrumb. So you can see we've got this breadcrumb, property search result, property detail, but we've got this back to previous page, so we've gone ahead and turned that off. But if you want to keep a breadcrumb trail, you can. The sticky sidebar is to do with this here. So this is what we call a sticky sidebar. When you scroll, the sidebar stops moving, it's sticky and stays there. So at any one time, your client, wherever they are on the property page, they've got access to a call to action button, which you can change the name of. We've got called book a viewing, and these property highlights stay here as well. Obviously every website's different, every heading size is different, so we've got this feature here called offset, sticky sidebar offset. If I set that to 0, just so you can see what effect that has, when I scroll now, some of that sticky sidebar has now been hidden by the sticky header that we've got. So to correct that and push the price and the button down, for this particular site, the correct value is 100, but for yours you just need to have a play around and get the correct setting. But it's, start with 100. If it's still hidden, increase it. If it's too far down, decrease it. The last feature here is tabs to display on the search box. So by default, we're showing sales properties, but if you wanted to show long-term rentals or short-term rentals or new developments, then you can separate those out using this option here. So for now I'll just enable all of them, so you can see new developments typically will come under the sales anyway, but if you want to separate those out you can. And so now we've got 4 tabs. So if we want to search for rental properties, then we click the rentals tab, and now it displays rental properties to us. So it's currently set as highest first, and we haven't put any price filters in, so 45,000 a month, 38,000 a month, so very high prices. But yeah, you can control that obviously by using the price selector. So if we wanted to search for 2,000 a month to 2,500 a month, then you can do that. And now we're showing probably starting from 2,500, from 2,000 to 2,500, the highest first. So again, you can obviously, users can order those how they like, and then the same with the holiday. We've got called holiday. This is short-term lets, and then new development. Obviously, new developments that are on resales. Clear the prices. Then you can see it's showing any new developments that have been added by developers on Resales Online. Typically I'll get properties with ranges because these listings apply to apartments or villas within that development. So that's the styles. I'll do another video to show you other features of the plugin and how to make the best use of it. But this is the most important thing. Once you've installed the plugin and you've set up the connection with Resales Online here with your API key and your client ID, etc., then the next stage is the styles to get it matched with your theme.